What's up, guys? HOTSHOTFRONTIER back at it again with another video, and in this video, guys, we're going to be discussing the Rogue tier list post Legacy of Destruction. Now, guys, of course, with our tiers, we have top of Rogue, we have hidden potential, could win locals, dedicated player, and of course, Copium. And guys, before we start, I did not include every single Rogue deck, of course, and if I did miss your strategy, go ahead and let me know down below, and also tell me why it should be in Rogue. But okay, guys, let's start with the first one here, and we have Chimera. Of course, Konami's latest archetype, and I'm going to put this at hidden potential. The reason being is that post Legacy of Destruction, it did get a really good searcher card called Nightmare Apprentice, and it's amazing for the deck, but this deck still needs a lot more to really land on its feet. On the other side, though, it has been topping more with this type of support, so it is great to see, and I cannot wait to see the further support later down the line. Going on to the next one, we have Magisters, and I'm going to actually put this in Copium because, unfortunately, even though Kieran coming off of the ban list was great to see for Pendulum players, it's not enough, and there is still a lot of Pendulum hate by Konami. Going on to our next one, we have Skull Servant, and come on, guys, top Rogue, let's go, that's it, tier 0. No, unfortunately, Copium, we love to see those older archetypes get support, but unfortunately, Skull Servants, it's just not it. Definitely Copium. could win locals, but definitely Copium. Now, Dinos are next, and Dinos potentially have a hidden potential. And the reason I say that is that the fact that with the ban list out, and a lot has been going on with Yu-Gi-Oh!, a deck like Dinos can run Thunder Dragon Colossus in their build. It's really nice to see. So with that in mind, I'm going to leave it at hidden potential. But I would love to see more Dino support or Misk back to 3 later down the line. Going on to Fluunderies, of course, all the way to the top of Rogue, because it's an insane strategy. It's one of the best, or not the best, anti-meta strategy we have currently out in the game, and I don't think Konami's ever going to really hit it moving on from this point. You know, of course, based off of their previous hits, those were very valid, but now it's like, why even hit it, right? It's pretty much ban list proof safe, hopefully. I don't know, but in my opinion, I think it's pretty good right now. Going on to Orcust. Orcust, again, another hidden potential deck, getting a boost from the ban list, of course, with Armageddon Knight going to 2, and just a lot of other goodies as well. I personally, hopefully, I think this deck can do very well at the meta tier level. It has been a while, but hey, Toss format is back, so a lot of decks are getting another chance at the top of the meta. So honestly, I wish the best for Orcust. We'll see what happens later down the line. Going on to Sky Striker. I'm going to put it right next to Orcust because it'd be kind of funny too, because I've seen more builds with Orcust using the Sky Striker engine again. Just the entire reason why Engage got banned. But hey, what do I know? It's not going to happen again, right? Anyway, though, Sky Striker is insane, and I mean, personally, for it being pure, I think it can do really well, but it really shines when you mix it with a deck that can really utilize it. So, you know, like a strategy that sends a lot of spells to grave, for example, of course, Sky Striker using the Sky Striker cards themselves in their description, you're getting additional effects off of that. So something like that is very has a lot of synergy in that way. So in that way, it's a very good engine. That's why I personally think that's a better engine deck than it's a regular by itself deck. But of course, I know you pure Sky Striker players are like, what are you talking about? The deck's amazing. I'm not saying it's not amazing. I'm just saying, personally, I think it's better used as an engine. And for that reason, I'll put it at hidden potential. Going on to our next one here, we have Meliodas and Melodius, something like that. Another deck where, for now, I would actually put it, I'll put it hidden potential as well. A lot of decks are going into hidden potential, and the reason with this one is that it can do very well by itself, and it's a great disruption against your opponent. Plus, you can actually mix this with Voiceless Voice, and it is, I've seen the combo lines, it's really nice. I would highly recommend you guys go ahead and check that out. But yeah, this deck is going to be a menace. Going on to Tliament, right now, I could win locals. We're gonna have to see a few more Tliament builds later on, of course, but the last ones that I was really checking out was, of course, Lightsworn used a few Tliament monsters in their build, but of course, the Paleozoic trap cards. That was like another Tliament version of that. Now, Tliament, they will always like try to like just drive to the ground, but it's not dying anytime soon. And even with the ban list, I think it even gave it a bit of a boost. So we'll see, of course, how it progresses. But for now, it's definitely a deck that could win locals for sure. Going on to Dinomorphia, I would actually put this at dedicated player. Now, for certain decks, and this is similar to like, of course, Experienced Pilot, is that if you really know your deck in and out, and you're confident that your opponent won't really know what you're doing, this is a great spot for that. Because personally, you know your deck best, and of course how to pilot it the best way. And a deck like Dinomorphia really needs that, because you are constantly halving your life points, so you know you're not going to win by time. You have to kind of just go for the kill with your opponent. So that is a perfect slot to put this deck in, and maybe down the line they'll get more support, but for now this is definitely where the deck belongs. Going on to Salamangreat, it is top of Rogue for sure. This deck is insane. It has beaten the Nib allegations, of course, and it just has really proven itself, especially coming back with the other Toss decks and really shining in the meta. Of course, you know, this deck hasn't really left since Toss format. It's just been sort of going back and forth, but I'm happy to say it's definitely a top Rogue strategy. Going on to Sprite. Sprite, another top Rogue strategy combined with Runic, plus it can also be utilized with Thunder Dragon Colossus. So a lot of potential here in this format. We have next Unchained. Unchained, I'm going to put Unchained at hidden potential. Now, the deck has not gained anything recently, but I will explain why, another version you could play with Unchained that makes it OP. Personally though, this deck was tier 1 a while ago, not too long ago, and it has that potential to be tier 1 once again. Going on to Horus Stun. Horus Stun for me, I think it could actually just go to could win locals. The deck is amazing. It's a really good trap-based deck, but personally there are a lot more better options, viable options available in our current meta, but I would not count this deck out whatsoever. Going on to Black Wings. So Black Wing, I would actually go ahead and put this at hidden potential as well, because you guys already know, honestly, you know, we could put it at the top of Rogue, guys, but I'll be nice. We'll put it at hidden potential. Black Wing, that are an amazing strategy. Plus, guys, they've actually been topping more recently at regionals, which I definitely have to show you guys a video of that and maybe do like a reaction video. But I'm excited to see where this deck can go in 2024, and of course go even further in 2025. Going on to Centurion. Centurion, I'll actually put at a top Rogue status. Reason being is that this deck has actually been topping even more. Plus, with the new support post Legacy of Destruction, it's really solidified its spot in terms of the kind of topping regionals like status. So I think a few more, you know, dedicated players, and we're gonna see a first place from Centurion. Mark my words. Next up we have Ancient Gear, guys. And Ancient Gears, I'll actually put that at dedicated player. It could actually win locals for sure, but we'll put a dedicated player, especially since you have to be dedicated, because the spell card, the Fortress card, is like 35 bucks each. And I mean, hey, it did spike a long time ago and it went down, but still, that's kind of crazy. That's because there's no reprint. But hey, if you're buying that, that means you are dedicated to playing Ancient Gear. And you should be, because it is a fun GX era deck to play. So hey, have at it, okay? Going on to the next one, we have Ashen. And Ashen, personally, I think it could win locals. Now, I know the whole strategy pretty much is you're turboing out the resource and the ability to pretty much dark hole the board, right? And it's not the strongest, and you have to be very careful with certain decks that you just destroy cards, right? Like Tliament. But if you do it in the right capacity and you combine it with a lot of going second cards like Fenrir, you can 100% see a win success rate for this deck. And again, this is the start of the archetype, right? So let Konami kind of give it more support later down the line, of course, and we'll see more ideas or variations of the deck. Going on to the next one, we have Sharks. Sharks are a very, very fun deck to play, and I would actually put it at could win locals, because with the support, what was it, an Age of Overlord, like we've seen a lot from Sharks and a lot of first place statuses, of course. So the deck has a huge potential, and I don't see the deck getting hit anytime soon. Next up, we have Heroes. I was going to say Elemental Hero for a second, like this is we're watching GX, like we're watching Jade and Yuki go versus Chaz or something. But for heroes, I would actually put, I can't really see hidden potential. Heroes does what Heroes always does. I would actually put it at dedicated player because, you know, honestly, it's probably one of the best dedicated player decks because it has been around for so long, getting legacy support and slowly gathering. Because I will be so happy when I see a first place like regional hero list, which it sounds familiar, like there already was, right? So let's say YCS level. That would be kind of insane to see that in 2024 or even 2025. Next up, guys, we have Thunder Dragons. And Thunder Dragons, I'm going to put at, for now, I'll put at could win locals. I wouldn't say hidden potential, but I feel like Thunder Dragon itself coming back is boosting a lot of other decks' potentials. Thunder Dragon coming back right now, not that I would count it out, but at the same time, we kind of have to test the waters and see how far can a pure version go. Now, mixed with other things, I think it goes a little bit more higher. So for now, we'll say we're counting this as other decks too that are getting a boost with Thunder Dragon, then we'll put it at hidden potential. Next up, we have the Gandora card, of course, from the Legacy of Destruction set. And I would actually put it at, we'll put it for now, we'll do a dedicated player. Or actually, we'll put could win locals. It's an interesting build. And of course, with the Gold Star cards, they actually will enable you to summon this and kind of just banish the field, which is kind of cool to see. So if you kind of find a really good build to play the cards with, then hey, you can go all out. That'll be a fun day at locals for sure. Next, we have Goaty. Goaty is another dedicated player deck. It did receive support in Legacy of Destruction. I don't know if it's enough or it kind of wasn't, didn't help make, you know, reach his mark, unfortunately. But for people that are dedicated with Goaty, they can definitely go far with the deck for sure. Going on to our next one here, we have Dark World, and Dark World is a dedicated player deck because Droll is still around and you have to really know how to work around that, and it's kind of hard, to be honest. You could play Crossout Designator, that would help a little bit, and there are other cards to mitigate that too, but at the same time, it is rough for Dark Worlds at the current moment, unfortunately. Next up, we have Raid Raptor. Raid Raptor, I would actually put for now, I would put at top of Rogue, low tier, of course, but it's a little bit harder now because people know how Raid Raptor players are kind of going through their combo lines. At the same time, though, it's really an insane XYZ strategy, and I'm glad it did get support in the previous set. So moving forward, I think Raid Raptor can see a huge success rate later on. Going on to Sword Soul. Sword Soul, for now, I'm going to put could win locals. Or actually, you know what? No, I will actually put hidden potential. So, of course, you can play Thunder Dragon Colossus. You can play Protoss, which is another interesting card that came back from the ban list. It didn't gain anything from Legacy of Destruction, but, you know, it didn't really lose anything. It only gained something from the ban list. So, I think hopefully it'll do much better now, but only time will tell, of course, guys, as we go down through this format. And we have Plunder Patrol. Plunder Patrol, I would put could win locals. I don't want to put a hidden potential. It didn't really, I guess there's no new tech really. Now, of course, it did top a regional. It got top 8 or I think 13th place, which is really interesting. But if I had another tier, I would put it above the could win locals because it definitely can do real at a regional level. But for now, we'll just leave it at could win locals. And you could play a huge variety of hand traps and going second cards that will really help break your opponent's board. Going on to the second to last one, we have Marine Cess. And Marine Cess is another deck that I feel like could win locals. I'll put it at hidden potential. This deck is crazy, and the fact that it can stop your opponent, it can negate your opponent's effects, and play a huge variety of hand traps in the build is still crazy to me, and I don't think this deck has lost in terms of viability. It can still be played and catch people off guard. Going on to the final deck we have here, guys, is Vanquish Soul. Vanquish Soul, for now, I would actually put could win locals. It's not gaining any new support, and since the last support, I feel like it hasn't really boosted the consistency of the deck, where I guess it did increase a starter. It gave it another starter card, but seeing it, you know, go against the meta currently, it's not the best deck right now, but it's also not the worst deck. So it's definitely a deck that you can take the locals and still do very well at it. But guys, looks like that's it for the rest of the video. Now, of course, guys, remember, if I missed your strategy, let me know down below. And of course, write, why does it deserve to be on Rogue? Now, guys, that's it for the rest of the video. If you guys liked the video, make sure you give it a huge like, comment down below. Like I said, if I missed your deck, or guys, if you enjoyed the tier list. And guys, if you're not subscribed to the channel, what are you doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, turn on the notification bell to update the moment I upload new videos. But guys, that's it for me. Hope you have a great rest of your day or night, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.